Bienvenidos al Amigos Flyways podcast. I am your host, Joey Basayo. On mi derecho, I have Cal Ness, and then we also have Mr. Heintz.
Heintz.
Hola, dudes.
Heintz.
The fifth time.
The fifth time. Has it been five?
I think it's been five.
I think it's been five.
Five?
I looked it up today. He's our most recurring guest.
Shit. It's about that time.
Good reason. Yeah, it's about that time too. Hell yeah. New studio. This is awesome.
Yeah, thanks,
This
bro.
is pretty impressive, dude. I did not know what to expect when I came up them steps out of that little doorway from the garage. I was like, what's up here? Oh my God. It's pretty professional. I'm proud of you guys for sure.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, it turned out sick. Labor of love.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Super excited.
about
it's freaking cool in here.
Guys, I'm sure you all know this is Joe Heintz of Northline Call Company, also The Roost, also social media extravaganza.
Grinder
I
Heintz.
guess.
Social media Grinder Heintz.
Okay. Yeah.
Go follow him on
like,
his-
how do I feel about this? How do you feel about the intro so far,
I
Joe?
don't know. Legend Outfitters, Feet Down Waterfall.
He's got 17 different TikTok pages that have all gotten taken down.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they still amass a large following. And then Instagram has a large following. Facebook has a large following.
Mm-hmm.
Just a social media guy. He knows how to hit it.
TikTok's a tough one. It's really
It's tough for you.
You can post vilely racist things like we were talking about.
Totally.
And you can post half-naked women and all that. But don't you dare show yourself going and getting food. You know what
Absolutely
I mean? Like out in the wild. Don't you dare show the tail end of a mallard and show them curls because we know it's dead. You know, you
bro.
And don't show a gun, not even in the distance. Like, dude, TikTok is tough.
Right.
Like and now, I mean, the decoy, I'm starting to notice, like, why is this video getting taken down? I don't have any guns. There's nothing dying. They're taking it down for animal abuse, and it's because the decoys are so real. I'm holding like Dave Smith's, and I think they think that they're real birds.
The algorithm can't figure it out.
The only thing that I can think about, because every time I'm holding like the DSD honkers or something, they take my video down that flags it.
DSDs are too realistic.
I guess. Even
Thumbs
with
up.
Bigfoots or anything, you know, but I've noticed it in a lot of my DSD videos that it gets flagged.
That's how you know they're good. TikTok's taking it down. They think that you're holding a real
I can
bird.
see. I'm sure that's like an AI algorithm.
Correct.
100%.
Yeah,
like it's not a real person perusing
it's
through
scanning
videos.
stuff.
Yeah,
no,
it's just
no one
scanning
from
stuff.
Singapore is going like, hey,
Yeah, you can't have that.
What that?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right.
There's not 10,000 people in one room going through everybody's new
Dude, they would
TikTok
need so
videos.
many more than
Oh my
10,000.
God. I hope, have we heard anything about that yet? Like, is it going away, or when's it supposed to go away?
I don't think it's going
I don't think it's
I don't think
going
it'll go away either, but I pray that Elon Musk buys it, because if it turns into an X, we can shoot all the crazy videos we want of stuff getting cut in half and die. We could actually be like Instagram and show them getting shot, you know?
Would you start
That's
like,
half the fun.
do you think you would start posting videos on X?
No, I haven't had
Like
a
ever?
Twitter or an X account since it started.
The only reason I'm asking is because they now, X will let you post that stuff.
Yeah,
And
Well,
you can post up
put
to
sex
2 hour
on
long.
Twitter.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
2 hour long videos on there right now.
Really?
Yeah, they upped it now.
Huh.
So you can put
because
like
of
full
Tucker
length.
Carlson, right?
I don't know what it was for, but you can put full length like 2 hour long.
Do you guys have X accounts?
No.
We have an X count.
I don't.
We do?
I mean, we have it. Yeah, Midwest Flyways has one.
It was like 13 followers or what?
I have no idea. We never used it, but like when we
Right.
started Midwest Flyways, we just got everything.
Really?
Yeah, we just every like single thing that ever comes up,
Mm-hmm.
any new social account or any type of like social media that pops up, a new thing, I immediately go and get our name.
Get your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a smart idea.
Yeah, we never posted on Threads. We have that too. So it's just like one of
I've
those
seen
things.
Threads, but I haven't jumped into that yet.
Yeah, I don't know
It's just like Twitter on Instagram, basically.
What?
It's like X. It's like Instagram X. It's just like Instagram's version of Twitter.
I see people
because-
posting a lot of profound things on their threads, and I'm
On
like,
Threads, yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was on X, going through, whatever, Twitter or X, when I was on X.
Yeah.
I just seen a bunch
Sounds
of
like a drug,
like pornography on there.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't need to see all this.
It's crazy.
Like, what? This is a weird app.
It's weird, dude.
Whatever.
The world's getting weird though.
Yeah, of course, the world is getting freaking.
It reminds me of 2008 YouTube. Twitter does.
Really?
Yeah.
2008 YouTube? You
Yeah,
could post
dude.
stuff like that on there?
Oh,
Remember Two Girls, One Cup?
Yeah. That was on YouTube?
That was YouTube?
Really?
Yeah, where did you see it, Joe?
Some ice cream parlor in Vietnam.
You were traveling abroad?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, you saw it in person.
Yeah, I filmed it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No,
Traveling abroad.
I was still in high school, and I remember looking up a bunch of stuff about the Marines because I really wanted to go in the Marines, and I looked up this video of a Marine sniper. You could see the vapor trail of his Beretta 50 cal missing a person.
Ooh.
It was like 2 feet away from the person. The vapor trail cut the dude's head off.
Shit.
Because the bullet was traveling so far or so fast. And I was just like,
whoa, dude.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Bro, they used to post
sick.
like war videos on YouTube.
Really? You guys?
Oh yeah, there was like videos of people killing each other.
You guys remember the Mexican cartel one where those like 3 dudes are on their knees and the guy starts the chainsaw and just decapitates them?
Yeah, dude, that was YouTube.
There's some crazy websites I used to go on, like.
You on the dark web or what?
No, dude, don't act like you've never seen them either. Like the YNC and
YNC.
What was the other really famous one? They show like ISIS videos and stuff like that. They were pretty brutal. Like Live Leak
World
and
Star?
stuff like that. World Star is more fighting.
World Star was crazy.
Yeah.
Though.
But like, dude, it got to a point like, dude, I'm poisoning my mind with this. I made it a thing. Like, I can't go and look at these videos anymore.
Yeah.
So I quit doing it.
We were talking. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I kind of like abide by that for myself with TV and movies.
Yeah.
Just because usually the only time I have to watch TV or movies is like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm going to go to bed as soon as this is over.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just no need for me to watch like horror movies or any like TV shows that like I watched Sons of Anarchy for a while. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, you can't watch that before bed.
No.
That
you're
got
so
to a
amped up.
point though.
Right.
Like that show
One
started
more
out
episode.
and it was like the worst thing that happened in that show in the beginning was like a drug deal gone wrong.
Uh-huh.
By the end of that show, they were like killing their siblings, killing their mom.
When Opie got killed, remember that? They beat him down.
I was just like,
That was
I can't
wild.
watch this show anymore,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
So I just never
Are you
finished
scaredy
it.
pants when it comes to like scary movies?
Horror movies? No, but they just like,
I am. Yeah,
I
hate
can't,
horror
I
movies.
can't
Like
shake
Paranormal
them.
Activity
I
and
can't
stuff?
shake it late at night.
Really?
Yeah, like if I go to bed having watched Paranormal Activity,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, like I can't sleep until like 2 a.m.
Yeah. With
I'm
the
not
lights
like,
on.
yeah, I'm not like the kind of guy that just, no,
That
I'll just let me
first
sit in that.
Paranormal Activity, when that came out, it was, God, I can't remember when it was. It came to a theater in Minneapolis because they're only doing select theaters. And me and my girlfriend at the time went there and watched it. And I think I was 23, 24 years old.
Yeah.
I slept with the lights on, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Freaked me out.
Oh, yeah.
Until like, I remember I like laid in bed, fell asleep with the lights on, woke up and I was like, I got to quit being a fucking baby. And I remember shutting those lights off and walking to bed and laying there like, oh God,
Dude,
it was like the first of its kind movie. It was crazy.
This is so good. This is so good too, because when I was in college, I went to Paranormal Activity with like, I don't know, four of my buddies. It was like me, Rabin, Ricky, it's a bunch of dudes. And my buddy Max used to rent this house in college. And it was his bed in there. And then he had this mattress that just kind of like floated around his house.
Gross.
But it didn't fit in the room. So he would wedge it between a wall and his bed. So it was like kind of folded. We called it the taco bed. And we went back after we watched that movie. We went with some, I don't know, maybe some girls or something. And they went home. We are all back at Max's house. And like me and my buddy Ricky were like, we're about to head out. And then Max was like, bro, you guys got to stay here.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Don't
what?
leave
It's like,
me.
no, yeah, you guys, we're all staying here tonight. So it was like me and Ricky on the floor and this dude in the taco mattress and then Max like just chilling just because we had all seen this like terrible horror movie, you know, and Max was
Not
like,
long
not
ago,
sleeping here
dude,
by
there's a
myself.
movie I watched called The Taking of Deborah Logan. It's about this old lady that has Alzheimer's and she just like creepily goes around the house at night. And that movie messed me up too. I was like, holy smokes, that was a scary movie, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like the Freddy Kruegers and the Jasons, that's like more entertainment, more
For
slasher
sure.
killer, not a lot of jumps in it. But dude, these new movies coming out, like the Paranormals and
Anything with demons, man, I'm out.
the
Right.
Conjuring and stuff, you know, it's
Right.
like,
Do it.
oh God,
Right.
dang. I have to go to the theater and see them. And I like punish myself. Like I have to watch this and scare the shit out of myself. Like I'll stare at the screen like it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Yeah, I don't know.
You just love
like
thrillers.
Yeah. I just love thrillers and I love scary movies and shit. I love movie theaters also.
Yeah.
I just got
You're a big movie guy,
I
dude.
love it, dude. Yeah. I've always wanted to own a movie theater and just not let anybody come in there.
Sounds like a money pit, you know?
Yeah, right, kind of. Especially the way it's going.
Someday
now,
maybe as a tax write-off.
there's a place in town that he bought the old State Theater, and he's bringing back like the old school movies, you know, like Spaceballs and
Like he's gonna. Have
I love
them on
that that's an old
projectors.
school movie, by the way.
Lord of the Rings and stuff. What was it Spaceballs like in the 80s?
Probably 90s. Either way,
Yeah,
just
still.
87.
Think of like
87?
old school.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
so
like
it's old.
black and white films, and Joe's like Spaceballs.
No. But like,
That was really quick, Carter. By the way.
Thank you.
yeah, that was cool.
Oh my
I thought he was
God.
looking it up.
Good
I was
job,
like,
Carter.
No,
holy
he did
smoke.
look it up.
Yeah, he
Oh,
looks
really?
like-
Yeah, boy.
He's our Jamie.
Yeah.
Got that Chat GPT going, dude.
That's right.
But yeah, I always love movie theaters. Love going to them. It's just nice and peaceful. I started going by myself a lot too. Me and Turkey will go to movies, you know, or the girlfriend every once in a great while. We'll go. But yeah, I just bought a 100-inch TV.
Holy
That's
shit.
right. No, he sent me a
That's like a
Snapchat.
fucking projector, bro.
Kelly sent me a Snapchat of it, and he goes, "You can't tell how big it is because my arm span is so fucking long, but this really is 100 inches." And I'm like, Joe, it's a third. You're a third of that TV.
Yeah. No, it's still huge. You know what I mean? Like, holy smokes.
What'd you pay for a 100-inch TV?
TV is so fucking big.
Like 1,500, $2,000.
Yeah, it was close to $2,000 all said and done. Yeah.
Bro, where the fuck do you put that thing? Like, how far
Not at my
back do you
house.
feel like? How far back do you feel like
the
you have
shop.
to be
Yeah,
at
right.
Scott's shop?
Do you guys lock the doors wherever it's at? Yeah, no, we do, and we have guns, and I will kill you. So come on and out.
Imminent domain. No,
Yeah.
dude. How far away from a 100-inch TV do you need to sit?
I
a good
sit
question.
pretty close because I like it. So I'm probably
So you're doing this as you're watching TV.
This
you're
room
looking
is
this way
12
and that
feet.
way. You're not.
It's-
Your eyes aren't moving.
This-
I'm probably maybe an extra foot or two back from that wall. Nah,
Holy shit.
Nah, maybe 5 feet back further.
Yeah, because, bro, that's, I think, a 100-inch stretch of wood. Your TV's
No, it's
damn near.
corner to corner.
I know, but fuck me. That thing's still got to be 2/3 or maybe better of the wall over there.
Yeah, it's big. It's big.
I didn't even know they
I got
made a
it
TV
just
that
in
big.
time for the Timberwolves game.
Nice.
When they came out with an 85,
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
big.
that's a big
Yeah.
fucking TV.
I got a 70-inch back in like 2012, and I was like, hell yeah.
That long ago?
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you were styling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
you were.
And
I
then,
got a 65-inch downstairs. I'm like, this thing is too big.
Yeah, it's big.
It's
You know,
too big.
And to be honest, when those guys pulled up in that truck to deliver it, you know, those two Mexican dudes, and like, hey, we have a TV in the back, and it's a big boy. I was like, yeah, for sure. And
Fuck
they're
yeah,
like,
it
They
is.
got it in there, you know, and they're like, right here. I'm like, yep, that's good. I almost like paid them more to like help me hook
Install
it on
it,
the wall, you know,
yeah.
because I had the frame on there or the
You had the mount on the
the
wall
mount
already?
on the wall, yeah, already. And I was just like, oh, whatever. Paid them a little extra, and they boogied out of there. But I was like, God dang. Took 3 people to pick it up. It's got handles on the back.
I was
you
going
know.
to say, how'd you mount it by yourself?
No, I didn't. You couldn't. It'd be impossible. You'd
Dude,
break it.
I just moved, obviously.
Yep.
And when I was moving, I had a 65-inch TV. And I was like, okay, guys, I've broken a TV once before.
Yep.
We got to be so careful.
Mhm.
My brother-in-law and I were so careful. And then what we did is we took it out of the truck and we laid it on its back and we're carrying it like this,
Yep.
bringing it into the house.
Mhm.
And the sun caught it. And I'm like, no way. It's cracked. There's no fucking way.
Oh, yeah.
And I turn it on. There's a giant crack through the center. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
So then 3 days later, I got a new 65-inch TV. They're so cheap.
yeah.
Right.
They're so cheap.
TVs are
Right.
getting cheaper. That's like the only thing in life that's
That's-
getting cheaper. You
they're
know?
so
Like,
cheap.
You can go
crazy.
to Walmart and get a 65-inch TV for like $450.
Fuck,
like,
not
really,
even, bro.
you know?
I
got-
saw the other day, I was
I
at
got
Walmart.
mine for $3.99.
I was gonna.
Yeah, or
I saw
that,
one at
yeah.
Walmart the other
Whoa.
day. 65-inch smart TV for $298.
Jeez. I think I have a 65 in my bedroom hanging on my
You
wall.
got 65 in your bedroom.
Mhm.
Holy
so
fuck!
then I look at the directions on how to hang this TV.
Yeah.
It specifically says, do not carry it on its back like you would
'Cause
in
it could
between two
twist
guys.
and
it's
crack.
it's that
It's too heavy
Yeah,
Yep.
correct.
for the middle. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yep.
God dang it.
you have to carry it up, right?
That's what I was getting to is that one in my room, that 65, we lifted it up, and I think somebody like squeezed it too hard on the one side. So there's like a dimple right here that's kind of a different color. I'm so used to it now, but if you were to go up there and look at it, you'd be like, oh yeah, I can see it. You can tell somebody grabbed it or, something like that. But
yeah.
They're
getting cheaper and more fragile.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That might be it.
Joe, I just want to tell you something about our podcast. It's sponsored by Sound Gear. I don't know if you use hearing protection. I know you have in the past, but
I've tried.
It's incredible. And I'm already a very deaf person. And so deaf boy. And so I don't want to turn into Helen Keller anytime soon. And so we started using Sound Gear probably like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And this last year, my daughter lost mine. Like she just misplaced them. She's like, oh, these are mine. I'm like, no, they're not.
Yeah.
Put them back, and then they were gone. And I hunted like the last half of the season without them. I can't ever do that ever again. I can't.
Yeah.
It hurts too bad.
Yep.
You just let it bang.
I just let her go, dude. That's what I do. And 2 years ago, I went and got my hearing checked, and the guy's like, I mean, your left ear is a little bit weaker than your right ear, but you still got really good hearing. I was like, that's all I need to hear.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
I think that's what
and then you're going to degrade
really
over the next like 4 years. Bad.
Yeah, no, I know. I try to at least put cotton in there because when you're calling at geese, you want to hear them. When you're calling at ducks, it sucks with them. Anything in your ear, I don't care what it is, it sucks. And it's very hard for me to get used to it.
Right.
Other people might get used to it and that's fine. I cannot. I can't call at them. It sounds muffled. Even when I'm tuning goose calls in the shop, I've put earplugs in. Like, I feel like I'm doing people a misjustice by tuning calls with these in because I can't hear what I normally can hear with the barrier, so it's like.
Yeah, but also if you can't hear it all, then.
Yeah, but that might be in my 60s, 70s, I guess. Nick J, I don't know what he uses, but he wears hearing protection all the time.
Sound gear, yeah.
And he told me he's gone like 5 seasons without hearing a shot. So he wears them like religiously.
Yeah.
So every shot that he's taken in 5 years, he's had hearing protection in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, everyone's so concerned about not being able to like tell the difference in your calling.
Yeah.
But especially someone like you with how much repetition that you've done in the goose call, especially with all of your competition calling, it's muscle memory. So you know exactly what it sounds like. If it's a little off,
Maybe I just don't like it either because I like the way a goose call sounds when I'm doing it and the guy next to me is doing it. But I really like hearing the geese. That's what I like. That's like my piece is hearing them coming right in.
Well, that's the cool. Like,
and I really
you're just
can't
helping
hear
me.
that.
You're just helping me sell these right now. But like, they amplify sounds around you. But once it gets over a certain decibel, when it can hurt your hearing.
Yeah, I know. I know what it does. But
I can actually hear more mallard wings when I'm wearing them
in the distance. Time of day, you can hear them coming. But I'm saying I'm calling at them the whole time, so I can't really hear them then because they got me so muffled out that I can't hear the bird anymore.
Yeah.
Should probably try Sound Gear sometime.
If you don't want to be like Joe, you can use code Flyways and get 20% off of your custom hearing products at Sound Gear.
Nice. Does our boy Wade still work there?
No.
Okay. Because I sent him a message like 2 years ago. He never got back to me.
Got it.
Like, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Hit the gym.
He's always hitting the gym, bro.
Yeah.
Dude's always in the gym.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Dude's a brick shit house.
Man, I wanted to ask
cool,
you,
dude.
it's kind of funny watching Scott transition from being like, I only hunt geese, to the guy's like obsessed with hunting ducks.
Yeah, he likes it. He's got Roy now.
Would you
He just had
think,
a third kid, bro.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
do you think you would ever go to like being a duck guy?
What do you mean? I am a duck guy. I love killing ducks.
Yeah, but you're a goose guy.
When the goose hunting's done, then I'm a duck guy. And then I can go down to Arkansas.
Yeah.
So I'd stay down there. And I mean, if Zach would let me, I'd stay down with him for 3 weeks,
Yeah.
a month.
He'd let you.
The timber's different.
I'm sure he would, but sometimes, dude, when the hunting gets a little tough and things are kind of stale, or there's a lot of stress on him,
Yeah.
And I just wouldn't want to start butting heads with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we get along really good, great friend of mine, but I would just hate to jeopardize because I know how I get when I'm tired. You know what I mean?
Stressed out.
And stressed out. And I know, how he gets and stuff. And it's like, a week and a half would probably be about perfect.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, you're killing ducks like that every day down there. Shit.
The timber is so cool.
Yeah. Timber and flooded corn and all that.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It is nuts. The trees are such a different. Birds are so different than the trees, you know.
Mm-hmm. And the
Just
echo
like the way they act.
is just sweet too.
Yeah.
I love blowing a duck call down there.
Duck call in the
my
woods
God.
is cool.
And just hearing the distant shots too, you know.
Yeah. When was the first time you went down to Arkansas or hunted timber?
3 years ago now, I think it
Yeah.
was.
That's not that long ago.
No, huh? Well, we just got that property 3 years ago. You know?
Yeah. Did you do you feel like you avoided it for a long time or just like never lined up?
I never really knew anybody down south that I was close enough buddies with that I wanted to go down there and hunt.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I can go down with these strangers maybe. And
Right.
you always get invites.
Right.
And it's always like, well, am I getting an invite by a guy that has a good spot and we're going to kill him? Or am I just getting an invite from some guy just to go down there and hang out with him?
Right.
You know, like, I don't know. But
How many times have you taken that random invite from a complete stranger?
I think it was maybe once or twice, but there was one time specifically where he's like, dude, we got 500 honkers in this field. It was like on the border of Iowa. And I went down there and I left at like 3 a.m. type of deal. You know, I get down there and it's 8. He's like, yeah, we'll be hunting a cornfield. And I'm like, okay, cool. And it was plowed black and the geese were going, the 400 geese that were in his field were going across to like some refuge field that the owner owns. So technically it's his field, you know, but it's in the refuge and they're going in an unplowed field in the corn. And they're like, oh, we figured with your goose calling, you could get them in here. And I was like, dudes. And that flight line, they told me they'd coming like right over us. And right over us was a mile that way type of deal.
Right.
And after that, I was like, I can't be doing this. So I just choose my guys that I have in those states and just hunt with them, you know,
Yeah.
like Dooley and Zom and Nebraska and like freaking Opie and Matt and Joey and stuff down in Iowa and Joe and Dakotas and whatnot, you know.
Yeah. Because
But-
I've taken that leap of faith quite a bit.
right.
Yeah.
It doesn't work out all the time, dude.
No.
It's frustrating.
No,
Sometimes it does, but sometimes it's like, oh shit.
You have to do this weird dance of like, are you for real?
Right.
You know, are you legitimate? Like, do you actually know what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
And are you and I going to get along for like multiple days?
Mm-hmm.
Because to drive 3 hours plus is like, okay, I'm going to stay overnight. But if you're a
Yeah.
weirdo,
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm going to leave now.
Yeah.
And now you're dog tired driving on terrible
Mhm.
roads, you know?
Right.
So
Or staying in a hotel.
It's like a
you know.
weird, delicate dance of being like, you legit, you cool.
That's why I like going to new places with like guys like you when we go on our trips and stuff.
That's fun.
They always kick ass. And you always know who you're going with and what you're getting into, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, just that type of stuff.
Have you
makes my
ever
world
hung
turn.
out with Zach Carruthers?
I don't think so. No.
He's dope, dude.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
Joe asked me to help him guide one time, and he was up. That was his first time coming to Minnesota. And he was just this southern guy who was wearing like timber camo.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is
Mhm.
this guy?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but he's
Sleeping in his back of his truck
sleep in the back of his truck.
with a camper, like a single bed truck bed camper.
Oh yeah. Is that was this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you
And-
told me about this guy.
And he was
Tucked it
just
out.
hilarious. Just like, yeah, man, you know, it's like when your grandmother puts gravy on your frog. I'm like, what are you saying? What are you saying, dude? You know, he's just like saying weird southern shit.
Yeah.
And then Joe's like, yeah, my buddy Zach is coming up from Arkansas. I was like, oh, cool. And I'm like, dude, we've hunted together before.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
we killed geese up in North Dakota this year. It
Yep.
was
Yeah.
tough hunting up there this year, but
It was.
Yeah.
It kind of gets to be tough hunting everywhere lately. Like
Yeah.
early season's getting tough. October's always sucked because
Mhm.
of the moon and the stale weather and the too cold. You know, they
Yeah.
start going through that phase and it's like, this sucks. I hunt every single, I think, what was it, like 2 years ago, I hunted every day of the season except for like a week. And it was in October because you couldn't go in the morning when it was cold and clear.
right.
Why would you go? You're wasting your time. You
Yeah.
know, there's no need to go. And then if you go in the afternoon, they fly 15 minutes after
Yeah.
shooting time.
You're gonna have nothing.
You
Well,
can't
you got to duck hunt.
go. Yeah, or something.
You gotta
know?
duck hunt.
And I don't have that many good enough duck spots around here to duck hunt. Like, yeah, we go out duck hunt and shoot 4 ducks, but it's like, I don't got a dog either to go get them on the water, and I'm not.
I can feel your frustration.
Yeah, you're like, I can feel
Yeah.
you being like fucking 4 ducks.
Nah,
dude.
it's a good time to take a little break. And then the Shin Film Festival, they had that going on right in the heart of all that bullshit. So I was like, heck yeah. So
I'm leaving.
I went to the film festival, which is also really cool.
Was it fun?
Oh God, it's super fun. Yeah. And otherwise. And then November picks up and kicks ass.
Yeah,
Right.
November's usually great.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you want to go in October? I guess since the hunting is so stale, like, would you try something new? Because
Or
we're
just
kind of
take a break.
talking.
Maybe like just up to North Dakota or, I don't know. I don't know what the weather pattern would be and where you would go in October.
Because what I've always
people tell
done,
me that got to come here in October. This one is really good. Like, really?
right?
So
Because what I've always done is hunted water
Mm-hmm.
in October and travel.
Yeah.
Travel west.
Yeah.
And you end up usually spanking cheeks, but at the same time,
Doing good. Yeah.
it's also October.
Right.
But you're trying something new in a new spot. I really like hunting new areas.
Yeah.
I love it
Oh yeah, me too.
because you
If
never
you're
know
not
what you're
going
going
to
to
shoot
get
anything,
into.
you might as well see something different.
Mm-hmm.
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 Yeah, I think
Like I'd
there.
like to hunt Idaho and stuff like that, and
They don't open until like mid to
know.
late October.
I know.
Right.
Where's the other one that's like, God, what's the name of it? Super popular for like lobsters and stuff.
Maine.
Yeah.
Maine, yeah. Maine would be cool.
Go there and hunt geese would be sweet.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You ever thought about like sea duck hunting? Have you
Yeah.
done sea duck
When I
hunting?
went out to New Jersey, we sea duck hunted.
Yeah. Did you like that? Were
Not
you
really.
were you sitting in a boat
Yep.
bobbing in the
Yeah.
waves?
But like, first off, I have
You were
really
in a bay though, right?
I have really bad sea legs. No, we were out
Do you get
there.
seasick?
Oh yeah,
I get bad.
bad, dude.
Bad.
Like bad. Like when we come across on that ferry to go to Isla, that's about all I can do.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
And there's been a couple times where I felt like, oh shit, I'm starting to get sick on this thing.
I'm pretty bad. Like we went on like probably a 60-foot halibut boat, and I spent like probably 70% of the time sleeping and like laying down in the cab and
Yeah.
like
Barfing, turning green.
just really bad.
Yeah, we went barracuda fishing one time and I was barfing the whole time. Like, this is the worst.
Yeah, bro.
It was the worst.
Yeah, dude.
So
we
I
went,
have really bad sea legs, but we still went out there. It was cool because you could see like the Statue of Liberty way off in the distance and stuff. Like, it was pretty sweet.
were you seasick in the
from
layout boat?
Jersey?
Were you seasick in the layout boat?
No, we didn't use a layout boat. We just used
What were
a
you?
regular boat.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the waves were up. You could see these ducks coming, and like the wave would cover them, come down.
Yeah.
They're still coming at us. Come up, cover them, come down.
Yeah.
Still coming at us. And then you're like, kill them, boom, 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 boom. And
Yeah.
you'd kill like one or two of them, but then you always had to chase them. So then John would pull up the buoy, and then we'd go and chase them.
Yeah.
And then boom, 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 boom. So you finally get it.
You're
Throw
doing that
the
with
boat.
Walls?
Go back.
You're doing that with John Walls?
He came the first day. John Olanek is who I'm talking about.
Oh, gotcha.
And then we'd stop and throw the buoy back in and just repeat that process of wounding a duck,
Yeah.
pulling the buoy up, chasing it. It's like,
Wow.
this sucks. I don't, okay, cool. I did it. Shot the old squaws, gorgeous ducks. And I don't know, some other ducks. And I was like,
Yeah.
meh. I'd rather shoot Brant. I'd rather shoot
Some
Brant.
other ducks.
Yeah, I marked off like 4 or 5 different species that trip,
Yeah.
Where are you at about? on the
I don't know.
species
I
list?
kind of looked at it and I got like cinnamon teal. Gotta
have
get
not
that.
or have?
I have not. You shot a banded cinnamon teal. That's nuts. I love that.
Yeah.
And then, God, I don't know, like a swan's on there, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tundra
tundra
swan.
swan.
Yep. And then, I don't, dude, there's probably like 6, 7 maybe. But I got a couple bonus ones too.
Have you shot a harlequin?
No.
A couple bonus ones.
Yeah,
maybe.
like a Egyptian.
Oh
I
yeah,
have an Egyptian.
the invasive species,
Yeah. That's on there.
Muscovy.
And a Muscovy. Yeah.
dude. It's big turkey-looking water birds.
Yeah.
Where'd you shoot the Muscovy?
Florida.
Tell me about that.
We went iguana hunting with JP Outfitters. And it was so much fun. Like the most fun I've had legally in a long time. And then he's
What
like,
do you use to shoot them?
22 caliber pellet guns. You get like
Okay.
6, 7, 8, like 10, 20 shots, and then you have like a scuba tank on board. There's like,
Yeah.
you refill it and then shoot them again. But and then he's like, oh, I got this this little golf course that's got Egyptian geese on it. You want to go kill one? I was like, Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're sitting on this picnic bench, and there's 2 Egyptian geese in this corner, and there's people playing tennis. I mean, 30 feet away, just hitting the ball.
Oh my God.
And I'm sitting there with a pellet gun on, and the lady looks through the little hole. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You see those 2 geese over there? Yeah? I'm going to shoot one of them." She's like, "Good luck." Went back to playing, tennis. I was like, sweet. And I noticed that when that sun was coming up, it was raising that shadow of that tree, and they're staying in that shadow. So that shadow was
Kept
going
elongating.
up. Yep. And those geese were getting closer and closer and closer and closer
Yeah.
and closer. And I just sat there, and then finally
Yeah.
shot one in his face, and the other one stood there like, "What was that?" And I tagged him right under his neck, and then he ran off, and I ended up killing him too.
Did you mount them?
I had Old Squaw and Brant and that Egyptian goose. And I went to go sell my bubble hockey table. They were in a freezer. I went to go sell a bubble hockey table. And I was like, "What's this plugged into?" Schlunk, and then plugged the bubble hockey table into it to show the guy that it worked. Helped him load it up. I was like, "Cool, see ya." Went in the house. Didn't think about it for 4 days. Went in the garage, and I'm like, "Oh, that stinks in here." That's what it was. I unplugged my freezer.
That sucks, dude.
There's probably like a quarter deer in there. I was pretty pissed off about that. Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah.
That was a tough one.
You shot the Muscovy duck that same trip?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get that one mounted though.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
I just made a huge run to the taxidermy too. You're looking at 2 of them.
3 of them.
Or 3 of them. And then I just put 3 up at my cabin.
The widgeon and the mallards.
Yep. And then I had a big common merganser.
The common is super cool.
It's this big, dude.
Really?
It's huge.
It's huge.
And I had him put
Looks like a cormorant.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Like all hair fanned up and stuff?
No. And then I had him put a fish in his mouth.
Really?
Yeah. Because they eat bluegills, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a picture of it?
Yeah, I got a picture of it.
It's pretty cool. I almost wanted to leave that one in here.
I know, but it's so
But it
perfect
just-
at the cabin.
I know.
I want to start mounting stuff. Like I'm telling myself, I want to start mounting stuff. Like
You've got the perfect ceiling for it, dude.
I know, I do, I really do. And in the new shop and stuff, could use some cool mounts. But
I love them. I love them hanging from the ceiling. If you have the
Yeah.
right ceiling for it.
correct, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I absolutely love them too.
I think they're sick like that.
They are sweet. Like just a bunch
Yeah.
of cool band. Like I said, if I get another double band, I'd like to. I wish I could get 2 different kinds of the double bands, like the stainless one and then the regular one, and be like, every time you tell the story about it, tell
Yeah.
why they did that.
Mhm.
But those are going to be tough to come across
Why did they do that?
to see which one would stay on longer.
Oh, yeah.
So they had the little skinny one, and then they had the regular sized one.
Yeah.
And the rivet was to show that's part of the study. And they found out that those little stainless ones are skinny bands. It's not a stainless band; it's something else, but that those stay on longer.
So
Yeah.
those ones are all hanging from the ceiling at the cabin. It's a shitty undershot of him,
Yeah.
but he's probably 2
That thing was
2 1/4.
huge. Like
He's
that looks like a cackler.
Freaking massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a little shad hanging out of his mouth. I'm like,
Nice.
dude, that is so cool.
I love shooting commons.
Yeah, they're not very fun to cut up though.
They're not fun to eat or cut up.
No,
But
they're pretty gross.
They're such a
That's
cool
full
bird.
frontal nude of Joey there.
Yeah.
Haircut just to myself.
Quick airdrop for later.
Yeah, dude. Give yourself something for the spank bank later.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Dude, tell us about Northline. Tell us what you've been doing with that. I mean, the last time we had you on, we didn't talk about it because it wasn't out there.
It wasn't
yet.
in the works yet.
Right.
It was in the works.
Or it wasn't
It
public.
was in the
Still
works, but it
doing some
wasn't. Yeah, you're
designing
doing.
and stuff like that. And
Yeah, man. So tell us about the
figuring
process
stuff
of
out.
Well,
going through that.
Tell us your apprehension about it too.
What's that word mean?
Why you were kind of scared to do it.
I mean, when you start a new business like that with how much money you put into it, I mean, a lot of people get nervous about stuff. It's something new.
Yeah.
I knew I could sell calls. I just
Right.
needed to figure something out that was, my own style type, if you will. And had a couple designs. I flew out to Washington and had those designs kind of come to life. And they turned a few of them, and I didn't like this. I like this. I didn't like that. And we finally dialed in on these 2. This is the cutoff, and then this is the southbound.
Nice.
And the difference is, like a traffic call and a big honker call, and the size difference. Like this has a lot of range, a lot of pop to it, and this is more of a deeper on the X big goose, But don't get me wrong, you can still kill big geese with this, and you can still run traffic, everything with this, if you know. But
which one is your favorite? I feel like you're a shorter call guy.
I am a kind of a shorter call guy, but the tones you can get out of this is pretty good.
Nasty?
Yeah, you can make it sound pretty wild. But like I had this super long, like a little bit longer, and I when you get to ripping on a goose call, usually your hands end up slipping back and they stop right here. But I still wanted to be able to get my fingers over that to tone it down, because the other one was kind of like a little too far, it just didn't feel comfortable. You could sit here and hold it like this, but when you get this getting spit on there and your hands are sweating, they're bloody or whatever.
Sure. Cold as fuck.
Yeah, they slide back, so.
Yeah. You don't want to be fucking cutting it off with your pinky.
Right. Yeah. And then
we're putting rubber band on it.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah. Right. Correct. Because this just turns into your grip. That's what stops you. And you don't really go much further. And Northline, that's, it's not because we're from the north. Like when you're migrator hunting, you're looking to the north and you're waiting for those north lines.
Yeah.
Those migrators coming south, coming to you. And that's my favorite kind of hunting for honkers, right? That's like the best of goose hunting right there, is waiting for the north lines. So called it Northline.
I don't know if you've ever migrator hunted with Joe.
No, I've never hunted with Joe at all.
Really?
Yeah. You never bring them.
We've never hunted together. Well, a lot of the time, in everyone's defense, it's like Tuesday.
Yeah.
And you're like, yo, can you come tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.? And like, I can't do that.
You can't predict the weather. The weather does its thing, and that's when you got to go.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not going to land on a Saturday every year.
Right.
Joe is like a kid on Christmas.
Right.
It's the best.
Dude, he's like.
And the crew that I go with too, like Trevor and Connor and Ben,
Sheelander
and Matt, all of us, we love hunting those north lines. We love hunting those migrators. It's the best time of the year. It's a blast. And breaking them down, because we all love goose calling, and breaking them down, it's the best.
Do you have like a day that sticks out in your memory as like the best migrator hunting day?
Of course I do. Yeah. North Dakota.
The water tower.
Yeah, the water tower picture when we killed 84 of them.
What time of the day did you guys start shooting them?
When was that, like 11 o'clock after the rain?
No, it was like...
Well, we killed them right away in the morning.
Yeah.
A little bit, though.
Couple locals hopping around.
Yeah.
I mean, out of those 84, 15, 20.
I was going to say about 10 to 12.
Yeah,
I was going to say, because
10 to 12 were not migrators.
Right.
Joey had texted me, obviously he was like, before he went out on the trip, he's like, yeah, I'm going out there with Joe. I'm excited to see what happens, whatever, who knows what it'll be. North Dakota.
We got to roll the dice.
Yeah, exactly. And so that morning when you guys were out hunting, I think you were texting me.
Yeah.
And it was like 10 a.m. or so maybe, and Joey's like, yeah, it's going okay. We have like 12 birds down.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're having fun, but it doesn't seem like they're turned on hard yet.
And the rain's coming.
Yeah. And
dude, it was a fucking wall.
And then all I get...
Straight from Canada.
I hear nothing. And then later in the day, it's a fucking picture of the water tower birds. And I'm like, what the fuck changed?
Yeah.
Dude, it was like a straight 38 to 50 minutes of pure carnage.
Yeah.
I've never seen that many migrator lines at the same time.
Cal, you would rain out a flock. Like, there's like 30
And the
geese.
other ones didn't care.
No.
The other ones that were high were still buckling down.
Dude, you'd call in 33 into the spread, and they're from like me to 30 yards. And we're like, Joe is like literally losing his shit every shot call. He's like, kill him!
It's the best.
And then like 12 drop. And we're like, oh my God, go grab him quick.
There's
and
six of us. There's six
birds
shooters.
Still buckling
just
down.
coming down from the heavens.
Yeah.
They were like in perfect lines of like 5-minute intervals.
Mm-hmm.
So like by the time you're done grabbing your geese, there's another flock of geese kind of like locking in on the days and the silhouettes. And it was just like, holy shit, get back. I was so out of breath for a straight hour.
Yeah.
How many birds could you have shot that day?
What were we, 16 short or something like that?
No, we were 6 short.
Oh,
90?
Yeah, we were. We could have killed 90. That's right, because it was 15 apiece.
The tough part is a couple people weren't there for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And then by the time they got back, then we really started killing them.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
But it was just like, we had such a short window where they were coming in so hard, and
Yeah.
they came in less hard after that. But if they would have been there the entire time, we would have easily have limited.
I mean, you only
we
need
would've
6 more
We would have
birds.
limited out because there was, it was.
I bet you we could have shot 140 geese that day.
Oh yeah.
If we had more people. Oh, my
for
God.
sure.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Novak
Cal,
and Joe and whoever else didn't. If they wouldn't have left, we would have killed.
No, if
obviously
we
more
would have
geese.
had 10 people there,
we would
we would have shot that limit.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It was
I remember
bad.
waking up that morning or that night. I was looking at the weather and I'm like,
You were geeking out.
I was like, oh my God, dude, the wind is perfect. There's a rainstorm over Canada. I'm like, they should just shove all the way down here.
Yeah.
And I woke up that next morning and I walked outside in like my sweatpants and felt how cold it was. That was like the first, like, oh wow, it's cold. Like I'm going to put a coat on cold. Right. And I came walking back in and I was brushing my teeth. And I remember putting that cap on my toothbrush and staring at myself in the mirror, like, please God, let today be that day.
Yeah.
I think it is going to be.
Yeah.
And it was. And it absolutely was. That was just nuts, dude. God,
Yeah.
that was crazy. First couple flocks, like, here's a group here that would buckle down and we kill those. Like, all right, migrators, we're getting migrators. Here's some migrators. And then the rain happened and the rain was coming through and everybody was walking away. And I'm like, dude, that rain cloud is right here. If it gets to that pine tree right there, I'm turning around and going back because it's not raining after that. And I think they're really going to start coming. But Joey had to feed his dog and a couple guys went to go get chew at the gas station and stuff. And sure as shit, by the time I got halfway to the truck, that rain line stopped at that pine tree. It was a little bit past it and it wasn't raining on me anymore, but it still was to them.
Cal, he was so adamant. He's like,
Yeah.
I got to go back out
Yeah,
there. I got to go back
I'm
out
like,
there.
dude, I'm going back. I didn't come here to go sit in the trucks. Like, I'm going back. And I start kind of boogieing back and I get to my blind and I look at it and all I can hear is go, 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 go. Like, I just jumped in the blind. I had 2 shells in my gun. And I'm like, oh shit. And a 2-pack just came from out of nowhere from behind me and pulled up and I killed. Oh no, I only had 1 shell in my gun because I only did kill 1. Because I know I told myself if I were to kill that other goose, we would have been at 85 and that would have been the most geese that I've killed. But we got stuck at 84 again. I've tied that like 3 times now. And then all of a sudden everybody starts coming running back. And you remember taking the binos and looking up and like, Joey, there's a flock here, a flock here. There's 2 migrator flocks here. And you're like, look above them. There's a flock here, a flock here. Like there was like 8 migrator flocks that the eye could see.
Yeah.
They were
coming
in
at us.
perfect intervals.
Yeah. This one would get to us, come down, ding, 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 ding. This one would get to us, come down, ding, 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 to the point I was like, we got to pick them up, count them, and you know what I mean?
Oh
Make
my
sure
gosh.
we all got our birds.
It
and
was
stuff.
like the 5th or 6th flock, and I was genuinely concerned
Yeah.
that we were going to be over a limit at 15 birds a person.
Yeah.
Because we were killing so many.
and we were
geese.
shooting so
Yeah.
good.
So 6 shooters.
Cal, we
Mhm.
were shooting the best I've ever seen anybody shoot.
Mhm.
It was disgusting.
Yeah.
There were 4 of us in the blind, and we were knocking down 12 birds.
Yeah, we were
And I'm
shooting
like,
our lanes like
holy
heavy.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up having to stop, and I was like, we need to get Joe and Novak out here. And I remember we picked up those
Well,
leg
they were-
bands.
They were on their way back, and he calls Joe. He's like, you need to get back here now. He's like, wow.
Man, have you guys seen any, or you guys killed any more geese or what? And I'm like, yeah, dude, we just chopped into a flock. We got 3 leg bands. Like, you're lying. I'm like, you got an iPhone? Pick up this FaceTime call. And I FaceTimed him and showed him. He's like, God damn it. God, fuck it. He just hangs the phone
Comes
up.
back as fast as he could.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then we continued to burn them down to 84.
Yeah.
Stop.
It was
incredible.
Insane. It was insane, dude.
Incredible, dude.
And it was like right after the hunt, we're like trying to figure out what to do with the pictures.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was by far the best goose hunt of my life. And Joe's like,
Yeah.
well, and I'm like, fuck you, dude. That was so incredible. And then
Yeah.
later he's like, I think that was one of the best Molt Migrator days of my life.
Oh,
I'm like, yeah, dude.
It's definitely top 3 Molt Migrator days of my life. It was just 6 of us killing that many is wild.
It was,
Yeah, it was sweet.
it was too many. My
All
gun
right.
barrel was hot.
I want to hear about another one, but before we do, this podcast is also sponsored by Onyx Hunt. If you guys aren't using Onyx Hunt, I don't know what you're doing, but you can use our discount code MWF20 for 20% off your Onyx membership, elite, or just for your state. And I think the state's like $30.
60.
No way.
No. I'll find it. Give me a
I think
second.
it's 30 or 35 maybe. But either
I couldn't
way,
tell you.
that's pretty cheap and you will use it 100%. So go check it out. Do you have another? Do you have another like?
Who's not using Onyx maps?
There are
anymore
people,
these
bro.
days. You know,
It's crazy.
35 for
35.
one state.
There you go.
50 for
Dude,
two
there
states.
are people.
oh, there's only 35 people in the state not using it. Not bad.
Exactly.
No, everybody uses it.
Dude, I've
Right.
legit hunted with people though, where you're like, yeah, show me on Onyx, and they're like,
Yeah,
I don't have Onyx.
I don't like it
What
when
do you-
people drop me pins on Onyx. For some reason, it gets caught up in some stuff on my phone, and it's like, God, I got to go through like 5 steps. Just Google Maps it and just drop me a pin.
Right.
There I'll go.
You can do it on CarPlay now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have the app on my.
Mhm.
It's kind of nice.
But anyway, what were you saying?
I was gonna ask you if you have another good molt migrator day that you could tell us about. Do you have like what was your tell us a good one.
Thanksgiving this year? Disgusting. We were decoying flocks of 200. Like
Oh, in
like
Fergus?
to the pit. Yeah,
Yeah.
like to the pit. Like a blanket of just coming across us. Someone land down there, all over us and behind us, and it was gross. We sat there that morning like, hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. You know, we're hanging out, cooking food, and I think we killed like 12 geese in 3-4 hours. And I was
Did you have clients?
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, we had a full pit. And I was like, man, they're going to turn on. And all of a sudden the weather started picking, like the wind started picking up. The snow started coming down pretty good.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, maybe they're not going to turn on. But I always say from 9:30 to noon, you know, noon's a little steep, but I've killed them past noon a couple times. But from 9:30 to noon, if you're not seeing a good steady, you know, 1 or 2 every 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, you're probably not going to see them. 1 or 2 flocks an hour, we'll say, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's not quite 10 o'clock. Let's give it a little bit. And then we were sitting there talking, and I could just hear, and everybody's, you know, making noise in that freaking tin box that we got in the downstairs, this container, you know. And I was like, hey, I poke my head out. I'm like, oh my God. And there's like 50 of them, like
Sucking.
just coming right down to us. I'm like, holy shit. So we burned into those. And then after that, it was just flock after flock after flock until we got our, like, we stopped like 3 short, right? 3 or 4, maybe even 5 short. Like, hey, it's snowing, you know, kind of raining them, you know, blah, blah, blah. So let's just stop, be safe. And when we said that, the big group started coming. And I mean, like, I was like, dude, Connor, look at that. This is like 100 pack. And that looks like it's over 100. And they were coming over and just buckling down and just fighting that wind. The wind was like 30 miles an hour at that point. And they were just fighting that wind and just sitting down and laying down and stuff. It was
So you guys just stay there and watch them for a while?
Yeah, we just sat there and watched them.
Yeah.
I was sitting there looking with binos, you know, like, I mean, if I see one.
If you see one with, yeah.
Right. But nope, didn't. And we said that we killed a bunch of, like, I think like 3 or 4 that day too. And that was magical, especially on Thanksgiving with a good group of dudes and stuff like that. So
Clients, right?
yeah, clients. And we had a couple buddies, like my buddy Dusty was there, and like we had some good dudes in there.
Do you still like spend most of the season up there? Do you
No.
just stay up there? Or do you go back and forth some?
No, in November I'm up there for like 3 weeks now.
Sure.
I used to go up there for 2 months, but
I
now
know.
they shut that power plant down. December gets really tough, so
Yeah.
I come back,
Yeah.
have Christmas with the family and stuff.
Do you feel like that makes November better? You know, for you now?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
just like now that you're just
There's
kind of
more.
like,
I mean, we're closer to Canada. There's more geese coming down that flyway, you know, and like usually when we're really spanking them back home, or when we're really spanking them up in Fergus, Trevor's still killing a lot of geese back home, you know, but it's like he has one good hunt to our 4 type of deal, if you will, you know, but
Yeah.
we just don't have that flyway coming down over that way.
But yeah,
you know?
Fergus is a huge stopping point.
Yeah, correct. It's traditional, you know, that's where they stop at.
yeah, I think I meant more. Yeah, I meant more like, does November feel like it's better hunting, you know, now that they kind of leave in December, like they don't hang out as much? Or do you still feel like it used to just basically be 2 awesome months of hunting?
Oh yeah, it was 2 awesome months of
Yeah.
hunting for sure. November is still great,
Yeah.
but it wasn't phenomenally, you know, I mean, there's still phenomenal hunts, but not back to back to back to back to back to back to back.
Where you can
to
just run
back.
the same pit every fucking
Yeah,
day.
dude. I
Just-
mean, I remember when I first got to Fergus the first year, Toso just got done shooting 30 days of 10-man limits out of the 8 pit, you know, like, holy
Jeepers.
shit. So
30
It's pretty
days of
epic.
10-man limits.
straight. Yeah.
Jeepers.
And then when I got there, I think we killed like 12 or something. It sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I got my payback.
So anyway, back to Northline. What I was asking you was, because you've been such a big mole gear guy since the dawn of time. That's where I was thinking about the apprehension.
Yeah.
Where you're like, were you concerned about your relationship with Scott?
Yeah, a little bit. You know what I mean? I mean, who wouldn't? I'm sure Scott thought the same thing with Tim Grounds when
Right.
you know, and same with
He
Fred
did.
Zink
He said it on the pod.
Yeah, and other stuff. You know, you worry about it. Like, dude, I really like Scott. We're still business partners on the roost. Nothing's happened to that. We're still friends. You know, great friends. But you know, you worry about that, and you're like, shit, dude. You know, I don't want to hurt this friendship, but I also gotta kind of do what's right for me also, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, there was a couple other things that were in there that's kind of a, not like more personal, like back, you know, I won't talk about it here type of deal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of changed my mind about it too. And it was just like, you know what, dude, people do it. It's just people move on, and it was time to move on. And that's kind of what needed to happen, you know? And I looked forward to it. And now I definitely am super happy I did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of reasons why I do things like this. And, you know, I'm not just doing this for me. You know what I mean? Like, I have a family, and I don't have kids, but I have a family. If you know what my background is with my brother and my mom and stuff, you know what I mean? So that type of stuff is what I really strive to do it for, you know? So, because there's going to be a point in time, dude, where it might just be me and him. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's,
no, I'm proud of you, dude. It's really scary to go out and do something like that, and you like understand the amount of responsibility, and there's a lot that goes into that, and I'm pumped that it's going really well for you, and that, you know, you took the leap.
Yeah, I am too. It was a scary leap, but I mean, it's like anything when you start a new business, it's going to be scary. So
yeah, I think anything you start that's new in general, and I think it's like fun for Joey and I too to like see, you know, the success that you're having with it, because I do think, like, you know, we were talking about earlier, like at some point, right? Like as you're taking that pathway to what you want to be doing versus what you have to be doing.
Right.
Anytime that you're taking what you kind of know as a guaranteed way for you to make a path. Yeah. And you're saying, all right, this path works, and I don't know about this other path, but I know that if that other path does work, you know, it's not that I hate doing this, but I can maybe do it less.
Right. Well, here's the deal, dude. I always thought I in the back of my mind, you know, watching the Zink videos and the foils and stuff, and they're making calls and they're living that kick-ass life of traveling and hunting. That's what I've always wanted to do. You know, I've always wanted to travel and film with my buddies and have a great time. And I was like, all right, well, I can guide and film and do that, you know, but it's to a point where it's like, dude, I'm not going to sit and guide my whole life. You know what I mean? And what's the other avenue, right? I know I can sell calls. I've proved it for many, many, many years. Yeah. I know that I can tune calls. You know what I mean? So that's the difference between a lot of call manufacturers is you can make a goose call company, but can you make them sound good, and can you tune them so they sound good for other people?
Do you know your product? Like,
you know,
you really
are
should
you
know
just
your
a pretty
product.
face?
You're right, exactly.
Are you just a salesman, or are you a fucking technician?
Right, right. So, and I know how to kill geese.
Right.
And so it's like, well, I knew the avenue I had to go, and I knew it was going to be, you're standing on a cliff looking at dark water, and you're like, well, I got to jump.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
Eventually,
what had to happen. So
you're talking about like not guiding for the rest of your life. And we were talking about this a little bit before the podcast, but
I've talked about it in a lot of podcasts.
How
Probably on this one a couple times. It's just,
how do you feel about this next year coming up? You think anything's going to be different?
Yeah, it'll be different. I don't think I'm going to guide as much in September around home, because when I'm around home, that's when I'm closest to my friends that I want to film with. You know what I mean? I goose hunt with some of my lifelong buddies that I went to high school with and stuff, you know, and that I've known for a very long time. So just sticking around home. If I do, I will guide in September, but it will be, hey, I have a good spot. Can you come tomorrow, or can you come in 2 days? It'll be a day or two notice, and that's it.
Premium price, premium
But
hunt.
when that happens, you know that you have not 100% success rate, but you know what I mean? It's in the 90s that you're going to see geese, and there's a good chance we're going to kill them. So instead of, I always hated pre-booking guys, except for like Fergus, because Fergus, like we said, it's such a flyway right there, you know. But back home, it's starting to get hit or miss. It's not as dominant as it used to be.
Yeah.
And I don't want somebody booking a hunt and, hey, 2 months from now, what's the weather going to be? We want to do one of them Migrator days. Like, dude, I don't know. You just can't tell. You can't predict the future. And I just kind of want to get away from it because it's stressful. It's stressful. Hey, we got guys coming from Arkansas. They want to kill honkers for the first time. Well, the weather's stale.
Well, you're coming on the second weekend of October.
Right. Yeah, that type of stuff, you know. So I don't know. I'm just trying to stay away from it. It's going to be 1 or 2 day advance, but then you know what you're getting into. You know that we're probably going to do pretty good.
So does that mean that you're going to be filming more videos and putting them on the roost then?
Oh, yeah.
Of you just hunting with buddies? Because I feel like that'll be a lot better content too if you're just like going and hunting with Opie or you're coming and hunting with us and you have a camera guy and we take you on a big water hunt or something. You're like, holy fuck, we just killed a shitload of ducks or, you know.
Yeah, it kicks it. One of my favorite hunts is a sliver grass field on the roost. And that's like me and a bunch of high school buddies. And you can tell because we're just cocking each other off the whole time.
Yeah.
And it was a blast. It was a blast to edit. It was a blast to do. It's just super.
What you're trying
fun.
to do. It's what
That's
you're trying to do.
What I'm trying to do.
Oh, shit.
So I needed to have a product to sell. You know.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing. So.
Yeah, you're a great caller, so it's pretty easy transition for you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. Did you first start out hunting ducks? Like, were you in the water?
Oh, he's always been a goose guy, bro.
No, yeah. My first goose hunt was a cornfield, a yellow cornfield south of town. It was my dad and the Carg, John Carg and his kids. And we went goose hunting. We laid in the rows and pulled corn over the top of us. And it was a really weird rule. And I've asked my dad about it. If I ever run into John again, I'll run into John again. I'll have to ask him. But it was like, all right, we can't shoot the geese going out of town. We can only shoot them when they're coming in. So maybe we were running traffic on somebody that was over there and it was his buddy and he kind of made an agreement. That's really the only thing that I can think of.
It's not an actual law unless it was a time issue where you couldn't shoot birds before 9.
No, because he would still shoot birds coming in after that time.
I don't know.
Right?
See, I'd have to ask because I remember it being like, okay, we can't shoot them going out and some would come right over our backs low, but we can shoot them when they came back in. I think we killed like 18 or something, but it was kick ass. My first goose was like from here to that wall, came floating in, and I pulled up my little 20 gauge, cling, folded him, ran out there like, this one's mine, don't touch it.
Did you set a big spread or no?
I think we had a bunch of those old school hardcores.
Some real geese probably too.
No, and a bunch of mag shells. I remember the mag shells because Gabe Carg was hiding under one of them. And
I always love hearing the stories. People are like, yeah, no, we shot 28 geese. And you're like, yeah, what was the setup like? And you're like, we had 6 flambeau shells laying in front of us. And then we had a bunch of outlaw geese stuck out in the grass. Yeah. Like what? Guys were really hunting over 25
smashing
decoys?
Them too. And then Carl Carg, John's son, he could blow a short reed goose call pretty decent. And he was the one calling him in. And I remember everybody being like, holy shit, he's a great goose caller. And I was like, I want to be a great goose caller.
Yeah.
Because that's what was killing him. So then I went in my dad's garage, the sugar shack, and ripped open a drawer. And there's a freaking flute call that big.
Is your dad's garage called the Sugar Shack?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you know that, Joey?
I've been in it.
Yeah. It's like a little party garage.
Sick, dude.
Yeah. After the bars, we went in there and partied in the Sugar Shack after the bars closed.
Yep. Often.
That's awesome.
Fun deal.
Now we do it in the shop.
Yeah. Is it in town?
Yeah.
Right by the bars and shit?
Yep.
Nice. The new Sugar Shack.
How far is it from your place?
A mile.
A mile?
Nice. Hell of a commute.
Yeah. It's nice.
That's a nice commute.
Is it pretty close to the bowling alley then?
No.
No? That's the other side of town?
Yep. That's the other side of town. Yeah.
Gotcha. Hutch is such a small freaking town, but it's not at the same time.
Yeah. I looked at Delano coming in here. You guys have like 6,300 people.
Yeah.
Hutch is 14,599 or something like that.
Is it that big now?
Yeah, it's getting there.
Holy crap. I would have thought Delano was bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got another ad for you. I don't know. Have you ever heard of the Flashback, Joe?
The what?
The flashback.
Uh-uh.
It's a duck that has a head that moves through the body, and when it goes into the water, it throws the ass up.
Oh, it splashes.
So it's like a motion butt duck.
Okay.
But like the colors that it has on it and the motion that it has, it runs for hours, doesn't scare geese. And I think it's the new spinner. Because
Really?
every duck is so used to a spinner nowadays, or even like the butt squirting deal. But this is so simple.
Butt squirting.
The butt squirter, you know? And this splashback or the flashback is just insane. Especially when you have like 4 to 10 of them out there. It makes your entire spread just come alive.
Really?
Because when you watch ducks on the water, right? They're not sitting still. They're constantly moving and they're doing shit.
Dude.
You have these on there, and it just makes the entire spread come alive.
Yeah.
It looks so realistic.
I like the fact
times.
that I feel like when we're hunting ducks in Minnesota, there's always a chance that you're going to shoot a goose or two.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
And whenever you have spinners out there in the water, man, it's not like a field where like if you have an in-between, it's easy to just go and click them off, you know?
You're not getting to it in time.
No, man.
Yeah.
Like if you got to walk out there in waders or take a boat.
Yeah. And the remote never seems to
The
work
remote never
either.
fucking works, you
really?
know? Yeah, but like these don't flare geese.
You're right.
So that's the thing I think that I've liked a lot about them is just like you still can set your 3 goose decoys on the edge of your duck
Yeah,
spread
so
and
don't got to worry about them.
don't got to worry about them.
When I was down in Arkansas with Zach, we went and looked at this back hole that he's got. It's like on this tree line. It's flooded corn, you know. There had to be 2,000 ducks in it, pintails and mallards.
Yeah.
And there is this splash just coming from everywhere, you know. And I'm like, he must have a water pump on or something, or, you know, one of the water pumps has got a leak in it or whatever. It's not big enough or whatever. You know, it's shooting water out everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's like, God damn, look, they're having a party back there, boy. And I'm like, what? I grab my binos and look, and all you see is asses and their little feet kicking water up this high.
Holy shit.
And I mean, 1,000s are doing that. It is just mayhem, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Like, whoa. I'm sitting there like I've never paid close enough attention or seen like a cornfield water feed like that where it was insane.
I've never seen him kicking water up in the air 5 feet.
Oh,
4
dude,
or
they're
5
kicking
feet.
down to like get to the corn and stuff on the bottom. So they're launching that shit up.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
That's so crazy. I've never seen that. Like, in the fact that you thought that it was like a water spigot that wasn't fucking
correct.
cranked on
It was
tight or
something
something.
like that. I was like, oh, I wonder what that is. Blah, blah, blah.
So crazy.
Another crazy thing that we seen, and Zach took a picture of it and sent it to me. We sailed a duck and he had to go and get it. Wood ducks were holding on to corn stalks
That's insane.
and eating it
I saw him.
and just eating it.
He posted so many pictures of that this year.
Yeah.
Of they're like standing on the corn stalk and
Yeah.
they're eating the head
Yeah.
of corn on
They're
it.
What?
climbing up there
It's insane.
and holding onto it like a little ladder. And then just munching the corn.
No way.
Wild. Yeah. It was the coolest thing I ever seen. But then again, you know, you sit there and you think, you're like, well, they're getting to that corn because when I go out to get ducks, that corn, the water is like, you know, the ground and that corn stalk's this high and there's no corn. I mean, yeah, deer could be doing it, but all those ducks are just in there like crazy.
It's too many corn stalks with no corn.
Yeah, you know, and there's 1,000 ducks out here, 2,000, 3,000 ducks out here, and snow geese, so it makes sense.
You think mallards are doing that too?
Probably.
You would think, right? I mean, if wood
Yeah.
ducks have figured it out, you got to think mallards have figured it out.
Yeah, correct. It was wild.
Corn
to
is
see.
king.
Oh yeah, yeah, and rice, and I don't know, man. I could sit here and just have a 2-hour conversation about how freaking cool that place is, but yeah, I don't know. It's pretty sweet.
Managed land
it-
is sick though.
It definitely shot a fire or put a fire under my ass about duck hunting. Like I do love and respect duck hunting a lot more.
Yeah.
So I can totally understand why Scott's getting into it too, because he's gone down to Arkansas and hunted
Canada.
with like Dylan and stuff
Yep.
like that. Yeah. So I get it. You know, we don't have cool hunting like that in Minnesota. It's just go out to a cornfield, turn a spinner on, and shoot your mallards.
Well,
and
that's your problem.
and your wood
field,
ducks.
you're field hunting.
right,
right.
correct.
And field hunting is the same thing every single
Every
time.
time. Yeah.
Water hunting, they act so different.
Right.
And depending on the day,
Mhm.
time of day,
Mm-hmm.
and what type of a pond you're hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever hit a transition pond? Like a loaf pond
I'm sure.
for ducks?
Yeah.
Dude, they come there right away in the morning.
Mhm.
And my dad told me, like, don't shoot them at that time.
Really.
Wait till they come back.
Yep.
So they all gather there right in the morning to like meet up with everybody because they're on different spots, like different roosts, because like no water is frozen yet.
Right.
So they meet there and they all decide where they're going to go feed. They go feed. They're only there for like 3 to 5 minutes. So if you were to shoot them, they're never going to come back. It's just like a hot and heavy first thing in the morning. If you wait for them to trickle back, you have unbelievable shooting for like 2+ hours.
Right. Groups
of like 2 to 15.
Damn.
And they come in hot.
Nice.
Where like you don't even know they're coming.
Really?
There's
right
like
there.
180 right into your spread. You're like, what the fuck? And then the next one will do a big long circle. And this group will like try to beat them down there.
Really?
It's like a big competition between the ducks on who can get there faster.
That's pretty sweet.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun.
I've hunted a lot of ponds growing up, but I don't know. It's mostly dirty ducks. I think because I hunt them early.
Dirty ducks.
You know,
like brown?
Like swamp ducks. Yeah, like just ugly wood ducks and ugly teal and half ugly mallards.
You ever hit like
like,
migration? The thing is for you that's tough is like when there's a potential for ducks to get really, really good in Minnesota, you're probably pretty committed to shooting geese at that point.
Yeah, because the honker population is exploding.
Right.
And so, yeah. And I mean, that's probably why I don't have too much of a hype for it around home here, because you literally just go out there and turn the spinners on.
Right.
You can have 20 goose decoys out there for visibility, turn those spinners on, and they're gonna come to your decoys. They're gonna come close enough where you can shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're getting weary of the spinners though too.
I think this is the year, Joe, where you come out to my cabin, I get you on the big water, we throw out a big fuck you spread.
Yeah.
You kill ducks, you kill geese.
But then anything will come to that fucking spread.
I know.
Anything. You
That's
go
really
out there
fun.
and it's like,
you don't know what you're going to shoot. You don't know if you're going to shoot
you can get like
cans.
6-7 species at a time. You know, it is fun. Don't get me wrong.
And then the geese start coming out.
And you
like,
can't talk to them. You just kind of sit there and it's like, here come rafts of ducks.
No,
you get the good mallard groups.
Oh no. You get a flock of 40 sitting down on your face.
Okay.
It's pretty fun. There was one time I was with Jake Whiteman, his fiance, and my friend Molly with me, and his cousin Sam. And we're calling in a flock of ducks. They're way up there. They're pushing really hard that day. And we're just barking at them. And these finally just decide, like right over the top of us, like this, coming down. And then I'm just watching those ducks. Because every time I do something on a call, this one duck would start jockeying, and then all the other ducks would follow. So I'm just watching that one bird. All of a sudden, Jake goes, kill him. And I'm like, what the fuck? And there's another like 30, 40 pack of mallards and pintails right there that just came out of fucking nowhere.
Really?
And we just hammered them. And then those kept flying. Another flock of mallards came, and then bluebills just swooped through the spread.
Sick.
Should we shoot the bluebills or the mallards? I was like, let's wait for the mallards.
Right.
It was insane.
That is awesome. Yeah, I've shot big water mallards before. We had a 30 pack of mallards land, and Trevor was below me. I might have told you the story, but he was below me in the pontoon boat, and I like pulled my gun and we go, "Don't shoot! You're gonna ring my ears." You're gonna ring your freaking ears, dude. You're down there. Boom! He shoots this Drake mallard, and he goes out there and he goes, "It's banded," and it was banded, and it was the same exact Drake mallard that was the furthest one out that I was aiming at. And I mean, like I had pressure on the trigger, shoot it. Freaking Trevor Ludke, you turd.
Yeah, it kind of probably serves you right a little bit though.
Yeah, whatever.
How many banded mallards have you shot, Joe?
I don't have any banded mallards.
Really?
No. Snows, had a wood duck. I lost that. And that's it. And honkers.
Just all honker bands.
Yeah.
So you haven't really gotten into the duck bands?
No. And I mean, to be honest, I shoot a duck band down south at Zach's. Here you go, Zach, and have it. You know, like, take it. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, what do you need it for? Where the fuck are you going to put it?
I can put it on my little lanyard that I take.
Hold up my deal.
You know?
Hold up your deal.
Yeah.
That thing is...
So this year you're going to go longer?
I think, dude.
Yeah, you got to.
I brought the extender to show you.
The extender?
Like, check this out. Let's get into this.
Yeah, I think we got to see you. Take your headphones off.
Where can I stand up?
Just right where you're at. Right, Carter?
Can you see me?
Yeah, your head's cut off, but the whole lanyard's in there.
Yeah. Literally down to your fucking dick.
Now give me a second.
Yeah, I need to see the extender go on this thing.
You can watch this on the Midwest Flyways podcast YouTube channel as well.
Thank you, Carter. Bro, they're gonna. It's such a careful process. Do you need help?
Why did I clip that?
Got it.
Oh,
Bro.
so it's a clip-on lanyard, and then you just extend it even further, so you can put more bands on it. Because so many people have that problem.
Can't even clip it, dude.
You want some help or what?
No, I got it.
Oh my
Bro.
god, bro!
Please stand up and put that on.
How many more bands can you could probably put another 20 bands on that?
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my god.
I think it's absurd. Oh,
When you sit, it's on the ground. Bro, it's down to your knees.
yeah. Like, look, if I had my sweatshirt on and covered this up, that'd look insane.
Now pull up your goose call like you're gonna blow it.
It's fucking hacky sack.
Yep.
Bro, I think you gotta rock that.
That's what
At
I'm
least
saying.
for a couple videos.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think I kind of agree too. Like, people are gonna see this and be like, he literally hunts a sanctuary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's no. You know,
Bro.
that's not real. He hunts the sanctuary. He hunts right across the road from where he bans them.
Yeah.
I'm telling
That's
you.
what
No,
I'm
there's that
sticking
guy
to.
that hunts, remember? That guy, he lives in the town you kill all your bands in.
What?
Remember that guy?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was like, the town I kill all my bands in. Which one's that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how can he be in 5 states at once? But yeah,
Dude, I'm telling you.
Countries.
At some point when you really start like killing duck bands throughout the years,
Yeah.
you need to have a line that goes in between that keeps the lanyard like outwards, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it goes in between itself and you can start filling that with duck bands.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Or like that one guy at the game fair, he had duck bands, and then he had the
Goose bands on the outside.
the goose bands on the outside. Yeah.
That was probably one of the
was
most,
that 2 layers?
Yeah, so the entire rope was filled with duck bands
Sure.
and then he crimped the goose bands over the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So like you would move
That's-
the goose bands and it was just filled with duck
Filled
bands
with
around
duck
the entire
bands.
thing.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
You didn't see that video?
I didn't see it.
And it was some like 60-some-year-old guy, and people were still saying like, "No,
Sanctuary
he
birds.
shot him in the sanctuary." Like, what if I told you I've been killing geese for 20 years, and I know how to call them and decoy them, and I know how to spot them, and I know how to look for them? Like, dude, you can ask Keaton Rowe, Nick Johnson, especially Alex Schumacher. I mean, those guys, Trevor Lude, those guys have been with me when they're like, what just happened? You know, like, how did you kill that band? How did you spot that? You
Yeah.
know, we're in different states shooting bands that are from out of state. Right. And I mean, I got all these, and I bet 15, maybe 20 of them are local.
Yeah.
And of course they're going to be local because I'm at home. I'm hunting around home. I'm going to kill geese and kill a couple of them, right?
Yeah.
And I shoot one by myself, like, oh, this one's local. I gotta throw it in the garbage.
It
Right.
is
You
so
know,
hard to take you
otherwise
serious
TikTok
right now.
will Try to eat
Just
me.
the whole vibe is
Look at that.
that's insane.
That's legitimately big dick energy right
You're
there.
gonna have to get the thing, and then you can hang the length of the call maybe on like an upper hook.
How's that?
You know, then you
Can you
can
see me good, Carter?
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Holy
Drape it over
shit.
your fucking knee.
Holy shit.
What I'm trying to do is goose bands on the left and then do this whole side of duck bands.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But if you keep hunting the way you're hunting, you're gonna fill it up with honker bands.
Right.
Because
Right. No, I think honkers on the back too. And then if in my lifetime, if I can fill this up with mallard bands,
But I think
that'd be sick.
the tough part is it's gonna turn on you. Like you'll be sitting like this.
Right. The
You know,
weight's
'cause of the
gonna
weight.
offset it so bad.
Yep.
I'll just put some tungsten on it to
Yeah,
keep it
put some
balanced.
weight on there.
Oh yeah, something.
You know,
That'll work.
dude, check
You
out
just
this.
do some lead tape.
Check out the cinnamon teal band.
Oh yeah.
It's so tiny. So
It
tiny.
was 4 years old and it had been obviously visiting Salt Lake.
Size 5. I mean, yeah, it's yeah.
It's tiny.
And the green wing below it, that was only 3 years old,
Mm-hmm.
but it obviously had not been visiting Salt Lake because there's like pretty much no wear on it.
Right. What's this one? A wood duck?
That's a pintail.
That's a pintail?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Little baby pintail.
See this one, this is the same exact size as my wood duck was right here.
Really?
Have you seen my mourning dove band? I have a mourning dove band.
I haven't seen
that thing is cute. Like it is dude,
tiny.
for real. It's tiny.
Yeah.
And it looks just like a regular federal band. Right?
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just print.
That's actually so crazy.
Nice job, Carter.
That's actually so crazy.
I keep saying that Cal is Zacharific.
Who's that?
You never seen that guy, Mr. Social Media, where he like pretends to be he's always like, I'm in my humble phase right now, but he's like pretending to bang Brecky Hill and he's dating Sydney Sweeney and
No, what?
oh my god, he's so funny. He's
He's
like
not actually dating City Sweeney.
Right.
no, but he just like talks a bunch of shit and then he's like, oh, you only made 10 mil this year? Oh, I remember my first 10 mil. You know?
Oh my god.
And he's just like this like bigger, heavy set guy, and he's just fucking hilarious.
That is funny.
But now he makes so much money by just pretending to be wealthy and famous. Now,
So
like,
he actually is wealthy and famous.
now he is, and so he's
Fake it
had
till you make it, the definition of it, and that guy.
ready. Like he'd have videos of him being like, "Ugh, "She's calling me again." It's Sydney Sydney Sweeney.
Who is this guy?
His name is Zacharific
I'll have to watch it.
on Instagram.
I didn't know what it
and
was either,
TikTok.
but he says his tagline, which I'm sure Joey's getting to.
Yeah, he's just like, that's actually so great. That's
That's
actually,
actually
so
so crazy.
And like
There.
he's hanging out with Jake Paul.
Mhm.
He's like, dude, I wanted to give you this brand new Mercedes Benz truck or something. He's like, well, that's pretty cool, I guess. I don't really drive that kind of shit though, so I'll probably just like give it away and shit. And he's just like,
what? That's awesome.
That's
fucking-
actually so great.
it's so funny,
It
dude.
is.
And
God, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I feel kind of douchey just sitting here like this.
No,
You might be.
I mean, should I keep it on just to really get the views going?
I think so.
Do you think
guys
this is
stare at the
do you think
camera a
this
lot.
is triggering anybody?
It might
Do
be.
you think people on TikTok or Instagram are just getting mad?
They are for sure getting mad right now.
That
They're
guy
like,
uses
look at this
bread.
guy.
This guy
Fucking
uses bread to kill those bands.
sanctuary Mallard, shooting him with a pellet gun.
Yeah.
Wonder
Yeah.
Bread Birds.
Anyways. Yeah.
No.
So that looks a little ridiculous, right?
It looks very
I think I'll
ridiculous.
keep it.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I can't wait. You gotta for sure have some banger video where you shoot a couple leg bands and you gotta make it part of the video where you fucking pinch those bands onto the extension
Yeah.
and then just as serious as ever. Put it on and just like walk away like it's normal, like it's sick, you know? And just as you're walking away,
Drop one on accident, but I'm not even gonna pick it up.
fuck it. As you're walking away, dude, it's gonna be swinging between your fucking legs. It's just gonna
Yeah.
be perfect.
A little ridiculous. Hey, first off, I'd like to say, rest in peace to Phil Robertson,
Yeah, man, we were gonna bring that up for sure.
an icon and a legend. We lost an icon and a legend this last Sunday.
Yeah,
And speaking of this, have you seen that video when Phil pulls out his like 6-foot rope of duck bands? Have you seen that?
yeah,
That's pretty impressive, right?
yeah,
Like, holy smokes.
yeah. That guy killed a lot of ducks.
Yes, he did, dude.
Yeah,
Yes, he did.
it's pretty insane to not have him kind of be around anymore.
Right.
It's sort of weird. Like, I like honestly probably got introduced to Phil, like who Phil Robertson was through Duck Dynasty. Because
Yeah.
I didn't grow up hunting, you know, like you and Joey did. And, you know, I obviously knew about Duck Commander, but like I didn't really know anything about him. And like seeing him on the show before I started hunting, then, you know, becoming an avid waterfowl hunter, you know, just have a different understanding of what he's done for the duck hunting community and, you know, just leading his life through his faith and just doing whatever the hell he wanted to do. That's the thing that I think I thought about the most is just like, if you look at Phil Robertson's life, the dude literally just did
Yeah, there it is.
whatever he wanted to do, bro.
Oh my god.
It's so insane to me too, that this is a guy who was in line to
Who
play.
hunts right next to the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Was in line to play in the NFL.
Look at that.
You know,
Oh, yeah, with Bradshaw. wasn't it?
he started over Bradshaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had offers to go play in the NFL. This guy was like,
cool.
"No, fuck that. I'm gonna hunt ducks."
Yeah, correct.
And you know, his famous saying in that interview, in one of those interviews, was, Yeah, Terry went off to chase the bucks, and I went off to chase the ducks. Yeah,
that's right.
And it's just, that guy's whole life, he just did whatever he wanted to do, and I think that's so cool, man.
Yeah,
like I just think that's
absolutely.
badass. Like, just paved his own path.
Yeah, I mean, everybody respected Phil. They loved him, if you were in this industry, I don't think there's one person that would say a bad thing about him.
Guy loved duck hunting.
Loved duck hunting, right?
Yep.
And I got introduced to him in the VHS days of the Duckman.
Yep.
That's when I seen.
Duckman 2 was my first one.
I think that might have been mine too, right? And then just watching all the rest. Like it was always, I started getting the goose hunting videos, and then I'd start getting his videos too.
Yeah.
And then back then it was Barney Califf and Buck Gardner. So that's when I started getting into it, and then watching the Duckman too, right?
They kill the shit out of birds, by the way,
Yeah.
in those videos.
Dude, there was this one video, I don't remember what it was from. They're shooting ducks and whatever, and then all of a sudden a deer comes running through the water.
Yeah.
And they
it's
just,
on,
he
number
fucking
3.
smoked it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
He missed
my
it the first shot, and then it started running again, and it jumped when he shot it, and it did a flip. And then it cuts over to Phil, and he's just like, just takes a sip of coffee, like
unfazed.
yeah, like
I would be
chaos just
hooting
didn't
and
erupt.
hollering.
Me too. Like
Look at this.
chaos just didn't erupt in the woods. Yeah,
Deer
Carter's
in
gotta
the
pull
decoy. This is just epic right here.
boom,
Dude.
flipped him.
Yeah.
Just so epic.
And then watch. Oh, they didn't show it, but it just cuts back to him just casually taking a sip of coffee.
Yeah, that wasn't the original. That was a cut, I think.
Yeah, it was a cut.
Do you see those old videos and you everybody had this big burly beard and shit? Do you ever just want to just
Grow a
let
big
it
beard out?
let it go?
Dude, I don't know.
Because right now you're pretty clean shaven.
yeah,
I'd say.
I got
and
a
you
new-
do grow it out, but you kind of get this Amish
yeah, red.
beard deal.
Yeah.
But would you ever grow it
No.
for a year?
I'd go crazy in the summertime. When it starts getting warm, I'm done.
Yeah.
Get it off of me.
Yeah.
And I look so freaking ugly, I think. Where it's
With
like,
the big beard.
what am I doing? Yeah.
Well,
I
you
don't
still
know.
got to get haircuts though.
You're right.
I think what a lot of people do is they just let everything go.
Yeah.
Then they feel like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You
probably
know?
true.
Because I found that out
pull
about
away
myself.
too much.
I know
Maker.
a lot of people that can grow insane beards. Like, oh man, that fits you great, But you probably could. You have,
Yeah, if
you
I
have
let
the
it
beard
go
and a
for a
face
while,
to let
I'd
her go,
probably
you'd be
get-
able to. I don't, dude. I really can't grow hair I don't know. It just gets this long and looks dumb. And I hate it.
Just,
So I
is
leave
it kind of scraggly?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It's not really that patchy, but it's not as high up as it should be or something.
I think
don't know.
I think
fuck
big
it.
guys traditionally got gifted beards in a way.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you grow a beard?
I'm
No.
starting. Now I can grow the sides, but it's not like what
You
it should
couldn't
be.
grow a big
Yeah.
beard though.
No, I couldn't grow
Is
a
it
big
too
beard.
spotty or what?
It's just not full enough on the sides. My dad always told me that he couldn't grow a beard until he was 30.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I've got half of my mom in me, obviously. And so, but now I can actually grow a beard. But back in the day, when we first started, or right before Midwest Flyways, I couldn't even grow a mustache.
Really?
No.
It's weird.
I was
how
20.
Stuff changes like that.
I was 20,
Yeah.
and I just said fuck it one duck season
Yep.
and grew it out the entire duck season. It looked terrible.
Oh yeah.
So bad.
Yeah.
And
It
then I-
looked terrible.
just-
And then I
Peach fuzzy.
shaved it, and then it came in so full
Nice.
after that. And I'm like, oh.
That's how it
The,
works.
the craziest hair thing that ever happened though was when Joey grew his hair out to his down below his shoulders.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
When
I
we
remember
were
seeing
first doing Midwest Flyways. That was the
Yep.
first or second year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have this video of Joey. I'll show you after. That is just so fucking classic.
Wolves are down 32-65 at the end of the second.
Yeah, the Wolves are
quarter.
really bad at basketball right now.
32.
Yeah, it's done.
it's been bad.
It's done.
And we're out.
They had 9 points in the first quarter.
And we're done.
Yeah.
That's insane. You know what? Give me one of them beers. I've had enough of this.
Yeah, it's bad, dude.
It's by the way, just a little sports. It's 18 free throws to 4 also, so that doesn't help.
They have 18.
Yeah. So what?
Yeah, the Wolves don't have 18. You're correct.
Just kidding, Carter.
Yeah.
I just watched The Last Dance again. I just
Oh, it's
finished
so
it
good.
yesterday. What a good documentary.
Such a good documentary, dude. I will tell you though,
Do you have cold beer? No.
they're on the shelf, Joey.
On the shelf?
I think so.
I kind of said no and
Top
looked
shelf.
at you like
It's a little cold.
he's my little servant. I'm like, no.
In the back, Joe. On
In
the
the
left
back.
side in the back. On that shelf.
Does he like Joe or Joey?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. Do you like Callie or Cal?
Callie.
Callie.
Yeah, specifically.
Do you actually fuck with Callie?
No,
like if I
would,
called you,
like,
it's kind of like somebody calling me Joey. I feel like
people like close
Like, what up,
buddies
Callie?
will call me Kelly.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Close buddies with me will call me Joey. And then I notice that people that have been friends with me for like 15 years or more, it transforms into Joey boy. What's up,
Joey
Joey
boy?
boy? Like my buddy Chris Jensen. Always, what's up, Joey boy? What's
Yeah.
up, Joey boy? Or Dave Marcraft. What's up, Joey boy? It's like,
Yeah.
what? I don't know where that comes from.
If you really want to get his attention, we can hit him with like a Robert.
What is it?
Robert.
Oh, Robert.
His
that's
real
right.
name is Robert.
But
Yeah.
all the
That's
Mexicans don't say the B, so they all call me Mr. Rourke.
His whole life, he's been running around job sites, and his
Yeah.
dad is Rob, and so he tells people, "Is my son? He's Junior."
Yeah, okay.
So Robert, like that.
Basayo.
You go to a job site with
Basayo.
Joey when he was like 15, and it was like 100 Mexican dudes. Robert, come here.
Rourke.
That's funny.
Rourke.
Why don't people call you Rob? I don't get that.
Because my dad's name is Rob, and my parents, when they named me this obscene amount of names, Robert John Joseph Vasallo Jr.
Whoa.
Yeah, 5.
You never knew?
I never knew. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try
my
putting that
mom's
in a
like,
fucking airline ticket.
my dad's
Yeah,
like,
right,
I want to name him after me. My mom's like, fine, but we're gonna call him Joey because I don't want to have that confused throughout the household.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
But I
funny-
don't look like a Robert. I
Funny-
look like a Joey.
A funny story,
Shit,
when we
I don't
flew
know
one
about that.
time, I booked the tickets, and you put in his names.
Yeah.
Fuck, it cuts you off, bro.
Right.
Like you can't fill
for
out
sure.
the whole thing. So I'm like deleting spaces and shit. John Joseph Vasallo.
So what is your real government name?
Robert John Joseph Vasallo Jr.
Jeez, dude.
yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, my first time getting pulled over, it was 2 days after I got my license.
Yeah.
So I didn't even have the physical card.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the paper in the truck either. And I get pulled over and he's
Classic.
like, hey, I need your license. And I was like, I don't have it. And he's like, okay.
Good way
I'm
to
just gonna
start.
I'm gonna write it down. He goes, first name. I was like, Robert. John. Last name. I was like, Joseph. And he goes, and I go, Vasallo. And he goes, spell that.
Get the fuck out of the car.
Yeah.
And then he
you
and
want
then
to
he's-
cock off to me, you little shit?
and then he starts walking away, and I go, Junior. He goes, Jesus Christ, are you a fucking
Yeah.
Mexican or what?
Yeah, but that's after the junior is the JC thing.
Dude, I'm like,
Just keeps going.
but he yelled at me. He's like, are you a Mexican or what? And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
Should've
But
been. Should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got both of my grandpas. So my mom's dad is who I'm named after, Joe Heintz.
Okay.
His name was Joe. And my dad's dad name was Joe. And my dad's name's Joe.
Holy shit.
Take a guess what I'm going to name my kid.
Joe.
Kevin.
Yeah. Dude,
Kevin
bird-
Garnett.
the bird after
Kirby
Up.
Puckett. The bird after Up.
Yeah, the Up movie, where the house is on balloons.
Oh, yeah.
The bird.
yeah.
Kevin?
Bird. You
Kevin.
wanna see my pecker? Have you seen that bird one?
Instantly the penis jokes.
Yeah, whatever. Learn it from you, Robert.
That's on YouTube.
Yeah. That's a,
That's
a
a
good
classic.
one. Yeah, that's a classic.
That's a classic on YouTube. There's
Okay.
been. Go ahead.
Sorry. Let's take a turn on this conversation here.
Okay.
Let's get down to the real meat and potatoes.
Oh,
Joseph.
Next time on the Midwest Flyways podcast, Joe Heintz gets into what's important for new hunters getting into it, the worst part about hunting, and his gambling addiction.